The terms of the Treaty of Versailles. This video will look primarily at just the terms of the Treaty of Versailles, rather than evaluating their impact, the German reaction to the treaty, the consequences of the treaty for Germany, and how the treaty has been viewed in hindsight will be examined in later videos. The Treaty of Versailles was signed on the 28th of June 1919 at the Palace of Versailles, just west of Paris. The news was met with widespread celebration and cautious optimism. Many believed that this agreement, meant to conclude the so-called war to end all wars, would safeguard them from future conflict. Of course, with the benefit of hindsight, we know that another global war would erupt just 2 decades later. Students often use the mnemonic gargle to remember the terms of the Treaty of Versailles. The terms are memorized as guilt, armed forces, reparations, Germany lost land, League of Nations, and extras. Guilt. A key term of the treaty, which would have long-lasting repercussions, was Clause 231, known as the War Guilt Clause. This clause stated that Germany accepted responsibility for causing World War I. This clause helped justify why Germany should pay such large reparations after the war. Armed forces. France wanted to ensure that Germany was permanently weakened, and a key part of this was the strict reduction of its armed forces. Military conscription was banned, and the German army was limited to just 100,000 men, a drastic cut from the 3.8 million soldiers they had at the start of World War I. Germany was also forbidden from having tanks, submarines, or military aircraft, and its navy was restricted to just 6 battleships. Additionally, the Rhineland was to be demilitarized. Reparations. Clause 232 of the treaty stated that Germany would make payment to compensate for all the damages done during World War I. The amount was not set at the signing of the treaty, but was set at a later date by the Reparations Commission. The final amount would be set at £6.6 billion to be paid in instalments until 1984. This might not seem like a lot in today's money, but we need to remember that the average German worker would be earning less than £200 a year back then, so this would be equivalent to the collective yearly wage of more than 33 million people. Needless to say, it was a lot of money. Germany lost land. The territorial impact of the Treaty of Versailles was significant. The map shows in black the territories lost by Germany due to the Treaty of Versailles. Alsace-Lorraine returned to France, Eupen and Malmedy went to Belgium, and northern Schleswig was given to Denmark after a vote. Large areas like West Prussia, Posen, and Upper Silesia were given to Poland, creating the Polish corridor that split Germany. The Saar Basin was placed under the League of Nations control for 15 years, with mining rights going to the French. Memel went to Lithuania, and Danzig became a free city controlled by the League of Nations. In bright green, we can see the demilitarized zone of the Rhineland. In addition, Germany lost all of its overseas territories, which we can see in light blue on this world map. League of Nations. The treaty also established Woodrow Wilson's brainchild, his World Parliament, the League of Nations. For Germany, this had little immediate impact except for the insult of being initially excluded from joining. Extras. The final letter from Gargle stands for extras, as the makers of the memory mnemonic couldn't match up the final terms to a matching letter. This is where we would normally include Germany being forbidden from forming a union with Austria, which was known as Anschluss, a term which would become important in 1938. The terms of the Treaty of Versailles are important not only for evaluating if the peace treaties after World War I were fair, but the terms are also very important to understanding Hitler's actions during his rise to power. In order to do well on the IGCSE history exam, you should know the terms off by heart. Questions related to the terms often come up on the exam.